Thank you all for tuning in with me. Like I said, my name is Ivy Mix, and I am a recent author with 10 Speed Press with my book, Spirits of Latin America, with 100 cocktails from Leyenda and beyond. My book is really a celebration of Latin culture. Right now, I'm in my bar, Leyenda. We are currently closed because of the coronavirus pandemic, but that doesn't mean that we're not still working. We just launched our to-go pickup cocktail and delivery last week, and it's going really well. So before my pre-shift, I'm here hanging out with all you all, talking a little bit about Latin spirits and gonna make a cocktail for you all. So as I'm talking, I can see you right here, who's here. Feel free to kind of drop a question into the comments, any questions you have about anything from tequila to mezcal or something a little bit more specific, like, I don't know, my favorite distillate from Ecuador or something like this. I have traveled all around Latin America for really the last 15 years of my life, living and working down there and dedicating my life to different Latin American spirits. So I'm really happy to be here today. I'm going to walk through a little cocktail for you to start off and then drink it while we all chat. So the book is a long time coming. I wrote it with my friend James Carpenter, who's actually a writer. I'm a closeted intellectual. I was a philosophy major in college, but I hadn't really written anything in quite a long time. So I partnered with my friend James Carpenter to write this book, and then also partnered with Shannon Sturgis to do the photography. We all got together, and James and I started writing probably sometime in kind of like the end of 2018, mid 2018. And then last year we actually joined together and traveled. So thank God coronavirus wasn't happening then, because this book wouldn't be out. We had the benefit of traveling from Mexico to Jamaica to St. Lucia to Brazil and Peru and Chile and Bolivia, and kind of the list goes on and on. It was the trip of a lifetime. And what came out of it was this book celebrating all the distillates that really have founded my creative building block in the drinks that I've created in, here at Leyenda at my bar, but also in the other jobs I've had. Clover Club is just right across the street, world-renowned bar. I worked there for many years, and even when I was working there, that's more of like a gin and whiskey and kind of Americanized bar. And I was still like, can I make a pisco drink? Can I make a tequila drink or a mezcal drink? And then I got to open this bar and also write this book. So, hello. Hi, Dervla. Dervla's here. She edited my book like a complete champion. I'm not sure how many people are tuning in who have written books, but I more than doubled my word count in my submission there. So Dervla did me a huge solid and helped me edit it down. So the book is separated into 3 different sections. It's separated into agave, sugarcane, and grape. And the reason why I decided to separate the book like that is this is a cocktail book. There's lots of recipes, some of them a little bit easier, some of them a little bit more historical, and some of them just kind of obscure. But the reason I want to separate the book into these sections was it's really a deep dive into the cultural significance of different Latin American spirits and why they taste the way they do. Terroir is a, phrase that we use in wine a lot. This is why Chardonnay from France tastes different from Chardonnay in California, let's say. And for me, I really think there's a human attribute of why things taste the way they do. There's a reason why when you're sipping on your favorite tequila, you're probably not going like, Parisian cafe. Like, tequila doesn't taste like Paris, even though tequila in Paris is awesome. Had it. Great bar there, Candelaria. You should go check it out. So I'm going to make a drink for you all right now that is relatively easy to make at home. I know that we're all kind of Like, what are we even doing? How do you get what you need? It's quarantine times, you can't go to your favorite cocktail bar. My hope is that this book can kind of alleviate those wants and those needs, as well as being this kind of armchair voyeuristic look into a part of the world that maybe you don't know that much about. So in Latin America, the funny thing is that Latin American cocktails are not necessarily that popular, you know? The margarita isn't really even a Mexican drink. The pisco sour was invented in San Francisco. The place that has the biggest kind of mecca for cocktails is definitely Cuba, Havana, Cuba. Because of Prohibition, you know, the Ernest Hemingways and the Charles H. Bakers and all these people went down there to keep on doing their craft. So we got the mojito out of there, the daiquiri, the Hemingway daiquiri, you know, the Hotel Nacional, all these beautiful drinks came out of that effort. But really, in kind of around the hemisphere, around the equator and the southern hemisphere and beyond, the cocktails are kind of just highballs. It's like rum and Coke, Fernet and Coke, you know, a piscola. But another popular mixed ingredient down there is ginger ale or ginger beer. And the drink I want to make you today is a play on that. It actually happens to be on the cover of the book. On the cover of the book is a drink called a chilcano. And a chilcano is the kind of emblematic drink of Peru right now. Pisco, ginger beer, lime. It's delicious. Come to find out, put ginger beer in almost anything with lime. It's probably going to taste pretty good. If you just go to their neighbor, to Peru's neighbor in Bolivia, they also make a drink called a choofly. And a choofly is the same, ginger beer, lime, and singani. Singani is the national spirit of Bolivia. If you've not yet had a chance to drink it, you absolutely should. It's the unsung hero of the spirits world. I also love ginger beer. Ginger's good for you. It's good for your immune system. If there's any time to drink ginger beer or eat ginger, now's it. This drink that I'm making today, rather than using ginger beer, I actually, at Leyenda, we make a ginger syrup, and the recipe's in the book. It's super easy. What's my favorite cocktail to make on a hot day? I will answer that just after I do this drink. Actually, this drink is a great drink to drink on a hot day. So rather than doing ginger beer, and there are really good ginger beers out there, but usually I like to kind of make my own. We at Leyenda use a juice extractor, like a big extracting machine, and you just run ginger through it to get fresh ginger juice. Luckily, ginger is kind of very in fashion right now, so you can go to your local bodega, get a little ginger shot. It will work just the same. Just fresh ginger juice, super spicy, super aromatic and awesome. You put 1 part ginger juice to 2 parts sugar, like just normal white sugar, on the stove, and you bring it to a simmer and stir to dissolve. And what you get is a nice, rich, thick ginger syrup. So for this drink, I'm gonna use that ginger syrup. Again, if you can't get ginger syrup, you can feel free. Sorry. I forgot my most important tool, which is my jigger. But if you can't get ginger syrup, or can't get the fresh ginger to make ginger syrup, feel free to use ginger beer. Fever Tree makes a great ginger beer. But I'm gonna use 3/4 of an ounce of this ginger syrup, which can stay in your fridge for about a month, refrigerated, because you've heated it up. 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice. I cannot stress enough, everyone, please use fresh citrus. If you don't use fresh citrus, it will not taste right. It will not taste good. It doesn't matter how good your spirit is, it's not gonna work out. Sorry, I'm doing a thing. It's not gonna work out. So I recommend doing fresh juice, and your things will turn out better for you and for your drinking enjoyment. Next, because this is a choofly, it uses Bolivian singani. That's what I'm using, singani 63. It's really delicious, and you can actually get it almost anywhere, which is surprising considering that it's a spirit that almost no one's heard of. Super floral, very delicious, really robust. 2 ounces of that. And you can use pisco. If you use pisco, it's just a chilcano. And in Peru, it's very fashionable to to use different fruits in your Chilcano. So, for instance, the one on the cover, I use fresh strawberry muddled in mine. It's super delicious. The strawberry and the pisco goes really well together, and it's, delicious. So then you're going to shake it up. So, hey, Rue, how are you? I wish I could send her to Canada. So put the ice in, give it a shake. There you go. Give it a strain. Again, if you put some fruit into it, it really, it can be a little bit prettier. But do with it what you will. You can honestly put any fruit you want. You can even put like mint. And then you're going to top it off with a little bit of soda water to kind of mimic that ginger beer flavor. And that's it. That's the Choofly. It's featured in the book. It's like a Chilcano. Ginger beer. It's like a Latin American mule. Everyone and their brother out there is drinking Moscow mules. You see those copper cups the world over. Try it with pisco. Try it with Sangani. You will not regret it. We have a drink on our menu at Leyenda that we are doing, and it has white rum, pineapple, aromatic bitters, and lime with ginger, and it's awesome. So switch up your mule activity and make it Latin, and you will not regret it. Someone earlier asked about what I like to drink on a hot summer day. First, I'm going to ask my friend Ryan these people were wanting something. Will you check on them for a second? They want to try to get in. Sorry, these are the joys of doing it lives and also being trying to run a business. So yeah, hot summer day. I mean, obviously, the wonderful thing about Latin drinks, and one of the reasons why I'm so glad that my book is coming out or has come out since Tuesday on the beginning of summer, is that Latin American drinks are, like I said, are close to the equator. It's meant to be thirst quenching, meant to be like, oh, it's hot. I want to drink this down. I want to be refreshed. I want to be vivacious. And Latin spirits kind of fit that category. I mean, think about like a mojito. Mojitos are not that hard to make. They are freaking delicious. And I give a good recipe in the book. So I would say mojito for my favorite hot summer drink. But also, margaritas are really good. Let me see. Someone else has had a question too, but now I can't find you. What is your favorite Latin spirit? Picking a favorite Latin spirit is kind of like picking a favorite child. But I really fell in love when I was doing travels for the book. I fell in love with mango brandy, which is kind of weird. I discovered it in Oaxaca when I was there visiting Mezcal producers, and I happened to come just after mango season, and everyone was making mango distillates with these abundance of mangoes, and they do it in the stills with these wood-fired, and actually bagasso, which is the byproduct of agave, these fires fueled by smoke. So you get these slightly smoky mango brandies that are like the most amazing thing ever. Hard to get anywhere else but Oaxaca, but you should try it. And then the thing that maybe is a little bit more favorite, I'm super into sotol right now. Sotol being a distillate that comes from Mexico. It is not made from an agave. It's actually made from an evergreen type plant. It's really vegetal, very, very green, almost pine tree-y. And I highly recommend it. There's lots of different brands out there. Sotol por siempre is fantastic. You can mix it in with your margarita. They do a little bit of tequila and a little bit of sotol, and it's like a must try. It's really excellent. Okay, if you're quarantined on an island and you've got a full bar, except you have to pick between mezcals and tequilas, which do I pick? Mezcal. I know, I feel like if you ever talk to a mezcal geek, once you go mezcal, you never go back. And I do love me some tequila. Like, don't get me wrong, I love tequila. But tequila's a very tiny category, right? You have to be made out of at least 51% blue agave, right? But mezcal, you've got many, many, many different types of agaves you can use. You have many, many, many geographical locations within Mexico that you can use. You can have a tepestate agave from Oaxaca that's like super floral, almost like walking through a lavender field, but smoky. And then you can get like a salmiana from San Luis Potosí, which is almost like sotol. It's extremely green and really vegetal. So if I could have all the mezcals in the world, I'd never get bored on that island. Let's see, they are complex. Let me see, what else you guys got for me on here? I like that you're asking questions. What has been your fave drink to make during quarantine? My favorite drink to make during quarantine has probably been, I really like making caipirinhas, or like plays and caipirinhas. So caipirinhas are being the classic Brazilian cocktail, muddled lime, sugar, cachaça. Cachaça is so underappreciated I feel like in American culture, but it's super easy. And the nice thing about quarantine caipirinhas is you don't need much. You need a lime, you need something to muddle the lime with, and you need cachaça and sugar. You muddle everything up in like an old jam jar, shake it up with some ice, you literally just unscrew the cap of the jam jar, and you have your drink. And people should drink more cachaça. I could say that all day long, but there's lots of Latin American distillates that people just don't understand and don't know about. And honestly, cachaça is one of the ones that I think is the most amazing. My trip down to Brazil was one of the most eye-opening trips I'd ever had. What kind of cachaça do I recommend? There's tons of different brands. There's tons to know about cachaça. So there's lots of mainstream brands. Leblon is a more mainstream brand, but you can get it almost anywhere, and it's really good. If you want to get a little bit more off the beaten path, Novo Fogo is wonderful. They're some of the people who I traveled with down in Brazil. Super amazing. There's also Avua Cachaça. They do these amazing programs of specializing in different types of wood that you can age in. Lots of people in the Western Hemisphere think that you only age in oak, but there are so many other woods. And the really awesome thing about cachaça is you can age in all these indigenous woods. It's so awesome. Like they have one called an amborana, and amborana tastes like cinnamon nut crunch, and it's just from the type of wood that you age in. It's amazing, and I highly recommend. And the really important thing too is that all these categories are so young, and if you find these tinier brands and support them, you're really sending money and resources down to places that maybe didn't have them before. Anyone else have another question before I kind of send you on your way and while I drink my Chilcano? Oh, Choofly. I'm here for you. Cateroo. I'm looking at you. I'm kidding. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I could tell you all about what's going on here. I'm really excited to have, Robert joined. Hi, Robert Simonson. Robert is our neighbor here at Leyenda. I may see him later on this afternoon and hand him a margarita. How'd I get so cool? Shut up. It's natural, I got from my sister. Will you be traveling back to Brazil or South America? I will. One of the reasons why I got into this industry, honestly, was because of its freedom. I'm not a 9-to-5er. I'm not a sit in an office type of person. I really like making my own schedule and marching to the beat of my own drum. And once I can travel again, I'll be back in Brazil. I will be back to Brazil. I will be back to Jamaica. I will be back to Brazil. I never really got to travel around when I used to live in Latin America. When I lived in Argentina when I was in college, I got to the border of Brazil and then they told me I couldn't come in because I didn't have a visa. So I got to go to Brazil for the first time for this book, and I definitely need to research it more and understand more about it. I really want to go to Minas Gerais, which is the kind of culinary epicenter and cachaça epicenter of Brazil. Certainly on my list. And I gotta learn Portuguese. I'm fluent in Spanish, but the Portuguese thing is tough. And someone asked if we were doing to-go cocktails at Leyenda. We are. We're doing to-go cocktails and food. So we're at Leyenda BK on Instagram. So you can find us there. And if people are just tuning in, I'm Ivy. I wrote this book called Spirits of Latin America that came out on Tuesday with 10 Speed Press. And I will take one more question, if anyone has it, and then I'm going to let you all go because I need to open up my to-go window. What about to-go books? Oh, yes, we are. Once I get my package from 10 Speed, I bought a bunch of books and we're going to sell them right here out of the window. Here you go. that is our to-go window, and that it will be me selling books and cocktails and tacos out of there. Yeah, I know. Get excited. It'll be great. I actually kind of want to make like little packages for people so they can come by and I can like make little, like, this is how you, like, each week we'll have a different cocktail from the book and you can come up and get the ingredients for that cocktail, which I think would be really, really fun. So on that note, thank you for everyone who's just now tuning in, but I have to go and work on my to-go window and sell some cocktails to keep my bar afloat. Some last minute things I encourage everyone to look at. I am a proud member on the advisory board of something called the Independent Restaurant Coalition that's trying to save bars and restaurants across the country right now. I encourage everyone to go and check out saverestaurants.com and support our efforts to try to get Congress to pay attention to us and save the things that we love so much. We're in the hospitality industry, and people in the hospitality industry love nothing else more than serving people, and we're not able to do that right now. So please go check out saverestaurants.com and the Independent Restaurant Coalition. My name is Ivy Mix. I just wrote this book, Spirits of Latin America. It would mean so much to me if you picked it up for yourself or your friends. There's a lot of information in this book that's never been written about, especially kind of for a mass consumption style thing. And it's meant to kind of bridge the divide of different cultures, because if you can't understand a different culture or a different person, if you can, and you like eating and drinking, there's no better way to understand a culture than through its food and drink. So that's the point of the book. Thank you so much for those of you who've tuned in and your support. It's endlessly appreciated. Please pick up my book. It's pinned right there. Again, I'm Ivy Mix, and lots of love to everyone. Be safe. Go drink a caipirinha. They're easy. All right. Cheers. Bye.